Agribusiness. Brought to you by Bank of New Zealand. Committed to agri for more than 160 years. With over 100 agribusiness partners across the country, BNZ is local and ready to support your business through the seasons.
No, we know that BNZ do a great job at being able to keep us up to date on what is happening, and particularly they follow the commodity markets of their dairy farming clients very, very closely. Price volatility is not one of their favourite things, and we all like the fact that the mechanisms of the dairy industry with the GDT and, of course, announced today, Fonterra have come out saying that there will be a little slight drop to $9.75 in their forecasted milk price as we start the new season. So therefore, what can we do? And we've talked a lot on this show about hedging milk price, but now there is some pretty cool technology that has been developed to be able to do that. Global supply chain giant Czarnikow, known as CZ, has launched the world's first digital app in New Zealand, allowing dairy farmers to lock in and fix the price of their physical milk right on your phones. Joining us now is the New Zealand General Manager, Tom Soutter. Welcome to the program. Thank you very much for bringing this to the world. This is really, really exciting. Can you probably tell us a little bit about how and why the app developed?
Sure thing. Hey, Sarah. Hi, everybody. So CZ has been involved in agricultural markets for a very long time. It was founded back in the 1860s and had been involved in the sugar market since the onset. But we look at adding value right through the supply chain, so from the farmer level all the way through to our manufacturing clients. And back in 2020, we launched a tool in the UK for sugar beet farmers, where we buy the sugar beet from them and enable them through that process to fix the price of their sugar beet. So that's been going really well over the past 6 years and has widened to some processes in Europe as well. We then saw a really good fit for New Zealand dairy farmers for us to provide a similar tool over here in NZ. CZ actually got into dairy itself back in 2018, so we've been handling supply chains of milk powder, cheese, butter, etc. for 8 years now, and we thought it was a really good time to be bringing this innovation across to the dairy market here in New Zealand as well.
It is an interesting one because farmers are skeptical by nature and do understand a fixed price is good to budget off, but also too, if dairy prices do soar, and we had a season last season where what was predicted wasn't how it played out. So how do you encourage farmers that it is a good tool to fix, to monitor risk versus margin?
So yeah, that's a pretty tricky question, and I guess I almost wind that back. We're providing a tool for farmers that enables them to fix the price of their milk, their physical milk, to CZ. Whether or not that's a good decision for their business is something that's up to them. We can't give advice as to whether it's a good time to fix some milk or not. That's what their farm advisors and accountants, etc., help them with. But yeah, we've provided them a tool. And that, if they've got a positive margin based on the milk price which we're willing to buy from them, then perhaps it's a good time to lock in some of their margins. But it's really a business decision for the individual farmer on a case-by-case basis.
I understand your tool has a cap, though, of 50%.
Yes, so we work with the processor and the farmer so we'll allow a farmer up to 50% of their expected milk solids for the coming season into the program, and the processor will allow that amount as well. Sometimes it might be slightly less for various reasons, and then once the farmer has decided what percent of their expected milk solids are in the program, then from that point, any day, they can look at their app and see the price that we're willing to buy their milk for, and if they like it, they can lock some in. Otherwise, they can look again later. It'll change throughout the day.
I'm just really interested. How hard is it to predict the milk price? I believe your background is in derivatives trading for Fonterra.
Yep. So I was at Fonterra for 6 years, been with CZ for 7 years. In my last 2.5 years at Fonterra, I was on the dairy derivatives desk, market making the SGX. And basically, to answer your question, it's impossible to predict the price of anything, right? Unless you've got a crystal ball, and that's why these risk management tools exist. Uh, being able to take risk off the table by selling some of your physical milk for a fixed price is just a tool in the toolkit for farmers, because
Mm.
ultimately nobody knows what's going to happen on the next GDT auction.
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose it's again, everyone's appetite for risk is different in their position. So, of course, seek advice. Now, you've developed this tool alongside a processor, I believe, in New Zealand. Is that right?
Yes, yeah. So working hand in hand with the processor. Unfortunately, we can't name them due to confidentiality arrangements, but I'm sure that they will do their own announcement at some point in the near future.
Yes. Yeah. Process of elimination in New Zealand, we can probably work through around some of the announcements by the processors around who has been talking about a fixed milk price offering pilot. However, yes, we will allow them to do that in due course. But do you have to be a supplier to said processor to access this tool?
So we work hand in hand with a processor. So at the moment we're focused on making sure that this rollout, which is going to be in stages with this existing processor, is a real success. And yeah, that's the core focus for now. Down the line, yes, any farmer from a processor who's willing to participate is also able to use the tool. So it's not
So it won't be an
exclusively tied to
exclusive.
one processor, no.
Okay,
But
so you're
a key point is that it's entered into by the farmer and the processor together. So CZ aren't sitting there and able to sell the milk to any processor. It sort of sits within the existing milk supply framework.
Does it take into account any nuances on any programs and benefits of being a part of like certain programs with processors?
Yes, of course. So those sorts of benefits or programs that are processor specific still exist through the CZ tool.
Yeah, it sounds really, really exciting. How does it differ from any other milk price hedging?
So I guess it's quite a unique offering. So I guess really importantly, it's a tool to price farmers to sell their physical milk at a fixed price. So that differs from, I guess there are derivative options out there, which this is not. So people can access the derivatives market via a broker, and then there is also the likes of the Fonterra fixed milk price tool. This one, it's different than both of those for various reasons, but I guess the cash flow impact of this is really positive. There's no margin calls, so that's a big hindrance to many farmers going down the derivatives path. So this is a tool to fix your physical milk price, physical milk, and as any adjustments are done as part of the monthly milk check cycle. So that the no margin calls, I think, is going to be a massive sell factor for many. Versus the Fonterra tool, where you've got an advance rate that increases until the point where a farmer's locked with Fonterra. And in the case where a farmer's locked at a price higher than where it ultimately settles, they don't get that benefit until after the season, effectively, months later under Fonterra. Whereas in our tool, if a farmer has locked some of their milk at a certain price and the market were to come down, they get those benefits much sooner as part of their next monthly milk check cycle. So quite unique in both of those senses. And then I guess because this is a tool for farmers selling us their physical milk, the onboarding is much more straightforward. We call it farmer friendly, I guess. So while we do have a process, it's a much more farmer friendly process than some of the other tools that are out there. And then in terms of cost. So our tool has a 9 cent cost, so that's below the cost of the farmer fixed milk price program, which I guess is a further incentive for this tool's use. So it's quite different in quite a number of aspects.
Tom,
And we definitely see it as sort of complementary to whatever else is out there. Sorry, quite a long answer for you, Sarah.
No, it's very, very good and detailed. Thank you. But this is teasing, and it's not fair, because you've come out and told us how wonderful it is. What's the time frame of said processor to announce this?
I can't speak for that one, sorry, but good on you for asking.
Because I know it's exciting. We've obviously Fonterra have their own, so we just need to work through process of elimination on that. But again, yeah, it will be an exciting tool once it comes about. What learnings have you got as a global company on other markets and where this is beneficial for, farm businesses around the world, this type of modeling?
So I guess firstly, just to wind back to the last question, so this is already being used by farmers now, so it's happening. But then
it's even more of a secret.
Yeah. So then to answer the next bit, so we've just seen at a farmer level such great uptake on the sugar beet side of things in the UK and Europe. Farmers really like the accessibility, simplicity, app-based structure that we've created. So and I guess that was created on the basis of how we CZ work with all of our food and beverage clients around the world, be those very large multinationals or small grocery type clients. The need is the same, so we've applied it to a farmer level already for sugar beet, and now we're just doing that again for dairy farmers. So it's a tried and trusted process. So it's not the dairy farmers aren't the guinea pigs; they're just getting the benefit of something that we've been doing for a very long time.
From your perspective, just a wider conversation, Tom, having worked for Fonterra and now developing this, how game-changing was the establishment of the global dairy trade system and the GDT and New Zealand's position globally in that I think we forget its history and its significance.
Yeah, I think it's massive, right? So for markets to grow and develop well, they need transparency, and that's exactly what the GDT auction created for the New Zealand dairy market, and then enabled a milk price to be calculated from the outputs of that global dairy trade auction. So it's a phenomenal development, and I do agree. A lot of people have forgotten how significant it is. But yeah, it opened the door to a whole raft of tools for farmers and end users alike.
And how unique we are as from price takers and different models too, and the fact that we've got our cooperative structure makes it a lot more transparent for our farmers as well compared to other countries around the world.
Yeah,
yeah,
and especially New Zealand's over 95% of the milk processed here turns into products that are exported, and that makes up about a third of all the dairy products cross-border traded around the world. So yeah, New Zealand is a huge player, and GDT has brought that transparency for the New Zealand aspect in global trade.
Very, very cool. Thank you for joining us, Tom. I really appreciate your time here on CountryWide Connect to talk about New Zealand's as a world first app for pricing, which we will find out about in due course from a processor who has been working with CZ as a pilot program on this for farmers to be able to have a fixed price milk offering that is very farmer friendly and has those wash ups monthly. Thank you, Tom.
Thanks so much for having me, Sarah.
No worries.
Out on the farm, the right support goes a long way. Speak to your local BNZ agribusiness partner for insight and expertise you need to farm through the seasons.